Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Yeah. Look, some interesting news that we're going to go through. Some really nice, talks in regards to Kendry Paez and obviously Mathis Amougou, but mostly Kendry Paez. What is the plan for the future? It's very important. He's also one of those players that can turn out to be an absolute gem, much like Andre Santos. So we'll do some solid conversations in regards to Kendry Paez, some nice information that has dropped from L'Equipe. When it comes to French news, L'Equipe, they're number one. Some talks in regards to Frank Lampard, some commentary that he's made. We'll go through that. It's making the rounds on social media. Some comments and some conversations in regards to Strasbourg as well. Strasbourg, if they potentially make it to Champions League, what does it mean for Chelsea Football Club? Because at the end of the day, owned by the same organization, Blue Co. And some other bits and pieces that we need to go through as well. And we will do that. First of all, we'll kick things off from here. The loans of French midfielder Mathis Amougou and Ecuadorian striker, I'm not really sure whether he's a striker, Kendry Paez from Chelsea to Strasbourg are almost completed. Kendry Paez started his career as a right winger who can cut in with his left, then sort of drifted in the middle as a number 10. But I have to say, over the last probably, I'd say 6 months, there hasn't been too much hype about Kendry Paez. In fact, if anything, I think the hype on Kendry Paez has kind of cooled down a little bit. He was a regular on the Ecuadorian starting lineup in the national team. He has lost that position. And from a club level as well, you don't get to hear much. Now, I know he's finished up, I'm pretty certain, with his club at Independiente. He's now been at Chelsea Football Club for the past 2 to 3 months, apparently being an understudy to Enzo Fernandez. That's probably not the worst position for him, because Enzo Fernandez does try and play and operate at times as a left-sided half-space player who can drift into number 10 roles. But Enzo Fernandez does have a lot of duties off the ball as well. He needs to track back. He needs to play in that defensive phase too. So now, will Kendry Paez be able to do that, playing in that position? And should he play in that Cole Palmer position? We shall see how he develops as a youngster. I think him being an understudy to Enzo Fernandez, I'm not really sure whether he can develop into that type of a midfielder where he's box to box. He defends off the ball, tracks back, and then on the ball, bombs forward, crashes. I'm not really certain whether he's that type of a player. Anything is possible. He's young. However, this news of him potentially going on loan to Strasbourg, I like it. I really do. We've already seen what, magic it has done for Andre Santos. Not just Andre Santos, Petrovic as well. I think this is perfect. Santos has done his graduation by the end of this season. That will be it. He's had a breakthrough season at Strasbourg and he's turned out to be a top midfielder in the world stage. So he'll come back to Chelsea Football Club, whether we keep him or not, we'll see. I think it's quite prudent that Kendry Paez doesn't just get shelved at Chelsea Football Club and doesn't get enough minutes, doesn't get enough time to develop. If there's an opportunity to send him to our sister club in the multi-club model, then why not? Let's send him there. Let's see what he can do at a European stage, at a European league. All his life so far, he's played for Independiente. This gives him an opportunity to participate at that European level. I think this is perfect. This is how we need to build the foundation for these young kids. This is the right pathway. So let's see. I'm very keen. If L'Equipe is saying that Kendry Paez is going on loan to Strasbourg, I think it's more or less done. And as you can see, it's saying they're almost done. This deal is almost done. Mathis Amougou, we've already heard when the news broke that we've bought him, that he was always going to go to Strasbourg. And Strasbourg, look, a lot of people are saying, Miz, is the project something that we need to trust then? It looks like it's working. I have to once again reiterate, this project will work in Liga. In Liga, there's only one club, that is PSG. It's not that competitive. Everyone else is pretty much in the same bunch. So you could definitely do a project like this where you influx the team with a lot of youth players And you hope that all of these youth players turn out to be magic, and then you have a season like the way Strasbourg is happening right now. There's a lot of quality, young, talented players, but you can't do that at Chelsea. I'm sorry. You cannot do that. The Premier League would eat all of these kids up. To have a team, imagine Strasbourg in the Premier League. I'm not even joking, might even be relegation team. As well as Liam Rossini is doing over there, you cannot. Premier League is not a joke. Premier League is not a joke. Every team is strong. You're not going to get away with their youth policy. So that is the distinct difference. People need to understand this. So what the ownership is doing, the directorship is doing with multi-club model and sending youth players there. And look, I'm pretty certain we're going to get Sporting. We've got some big conversations to happen in regards to Sporting. I feel like all of these players we've recently bought, and we're looking to do more business, we might have Sporting as well within our multi-club model. So these things will work for the multi-club model clubs. It ain't going to work for Chelsea. But let's see. Hopefully this is the right path for Kendry Paez, and he can develop into a monster player and then return back. Yeah, have that breakthrough season, return back, and then, put your hand up, rightfully so, to feature for Chelsea. So right now, look, next season, I don't think Kendry Paez will get that opportunity. And I still remember the hype on Kendry Paez. People thought, yeah, this guy, as soon as he's 18, he's a Chelsea player. We need to calm down. I like this loan move. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. Do you appreciate this potential loan move to Strasbourg? I think this is probably going to happen. I like it. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, if Strasbourg and Chelsea qualify for the same European competition, then Blue Coat would have to pause their involvement in Strasbourg via a trust. So I don't think our ownership ever envisaged that we would be in a situation like this where Strasbourg is potentially a contender for Champions League. And who knows, if they continue with this form and the way the rest of the team are playing, from Petrovic to the defenders to the midfielders with Andre Santos, and even up front, they've got talented players. Diego Moreira is another one that we've sold from Chelsea to Strasbourg, who's doing really well over there. You never know. Strasbourg could make it to the Champions League. Will Chelsea make it? If they don't, if we don't, then obviously this is not an issue. If we do end up making it, this becomes an issue. Chelsea and Strasbourg would not be able to transfer players to one another or use a shared scouting database until the end date of the trust. So this could seriously become a problem. However, ladies and gentlemen, there is a way. The proposed Mamadou Sarr's move from Strasbourg to Chelsea in the summer would be banned by UEFA if both clubs qualify for UEFA competition. Just going back, the proposed way to get around it is via trust. So you'd have to create a trust entity which then will own Strasbourg, which basically separates the ownership away from Blueco and that new trust entity, which will be the owner of Strasbourg. So there is a way around it. I know Man City and Girona, Man City own Girona, and they've both featured in the Champions League. So there is definitely a way around this scenario. So don't get too worried. But obviously, we need to understand that in its current form, Blueco owning Chelsea and Strasbourg, and if we both end up making it to Champions League, then it cannot happen. We bought Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg as well, don't forget. So in this current structure, that won't go ahead as well. We can't send Kendry Paez there to all of these negotiations, all of these transfer business between the two clubs will need to stop. However, as I said, as soon as you create that trust entity, and that entity takes over Strasbourg, then all of these things can work out. Unless the transfers had already been signed last January, so this is in regards to Mamadou Sarr, without official communication, this is the only case that could allow Mamadou Sarr to join Chelsea for 20 million euros, bonus included. This has come from L'Equipe. Yes, this did happen in the January window. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I'm pretty certain this happened in the January window where we purchased Strasbourg's defender, Mamadou Sarr. Chelsea has purchased him from Strasbourg. Now, as soon as that trust entity is created, he can move in. Even if it's not created, which I'm pretty certain it will be created if Strasbourg make it to Champions League and Chelsea. But even if it's not, for an argument's sake, if we've officially signed without official communication, Mamadou Sarr in January, then it can still happen. This is what it's saying. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Sporting. Remember, I said to you about Sporting. This multi-club model probably might add another club. Not probably. Our ownership definitely are looking to add more clubs. Sporting is one they've absolutely honed in. They've been honing in on Sporting for a while. I guess this is another reason why they're trying to keep that relationship with Jorge Mendes. Jorge Mendes got a huge hold on the Portuguese league, super agent Jorge Mendes. And, we're looking to add more clubs. I think some club from Brazil is definitely on the cards. We're doing so many business in Brazil as well. So, look, here's another news from Sporting. Chelsea are interested in Ousmane Diomande. The fee could be close to what they paid for Giovanni Coenda. So Ousmane Diomande, he's been linked for a long time now. For a little while, at least I'd say 2 seasons, which you can say it's a bit of a long time. And don't be surprised if this happens. We've already got Giovanni Coenda from there. Giovanni Coenda, will do a video on him tomorrow. Do look out for that. He's got a nice, lovely goal for Sporting just a couple of hours ago in their league. So we'll touch base on that. He looks like another one of those quality players. This ownership, this directorship, they've picked up some gems. I can't lie about that. But it's not the greatest way to build the Chelsea squad. We've got Coenda from there. We've got Esugu from there. And don't be surprised if we end up getting Diomande. And this might all be factors that add up to perhaps buying Sporting. I think this is probably the catch. In order to buy Sporting, you're going to buy some of these players, give us the money, and then, build that relationship, maybe build that stake, shareholdership stake. And then down the track, you can potentially buy Sporting, showing that, a lot of the Sporting players are going to Chelsea now. Ousmane Diomande, I've seen him a couple of times in the Champions League, and he looks a decent defender. I'm not going to lie. He definitely looks like a decent defender. Robust, got a lot of pace, got a lot of physicality, technically gifted as well. So this I actually won't mind. So let's see what the future holds. This is coming from, I don't know who this particular source is, probably from Portugal, Luis Pinto Coelho, scout, cronista, comentador, maybe like a Portuguese source. But I've got no issues with this defender. Let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of you guys appreciate Ousmane Diomande, and watch the space. I think Chelsea are building something to purchase Sporting down the track, and I think that would be good. I think to add Sporting in the multi-club model, strong Portuguese top team, they bring out some top talents in world football. So this is good news. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, there's a video. I think it's from Sky Sports. It's doing the rounds. Me personally, I don't feel like Frank Lampard has said anything that we don't know, but it's doing the rounds. A lot of people are like, "Oh my God, look at Bluco. Look, I don't need Frank to tell me what Bluco's up to. I know what Bluco is up to, and so far we've got a lot of complaints about that, right? We know as a fan base they've not done well enough for Chelsea. Yes, they might have done in isolation Andre Santos and Coenda and this, that, the other, but overall, as a squad building and overall running Chelsea Football Club the way they have, it's not been good. It's not how a top club needs to be run. So this is what Frank Lampard had to say. Even going back to Chelsea as an interim, it was really tough time at the club. And I saw a lot of things and people questioned, like, was it the right thing to do? I'm absolutely better for the experience of that, even though it was 6-7 weeks. I saw things that there that I know can't be right at the elite level. And that's the truth. So a lot of people making a lot out of this. As I said, I don't think Frank said anything that we don't know. I already knew all of this stuff. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. In that first year where Frank Lampard came back as an interim manager, we as a fan base knew it was a chaos. 40 plus players. There was a division between the players. Some players just never got selected on match day. The likes of Ziyech, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that all of that stuff has gone south in that season. Graham Potter, the results weren't looking good. And by the time Frank Lampard came in, I'm pretty sure the players were just disillusioned by then and dejected by then. So he's not said anything that we are not aware of. And these are some of the things that we as a fan base, we've been complaining about the ownership. They've not done a great job. So yeah, this is something that's gone around. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you see this this particular comment from Frank Lampard any differently? Let me know in the comment section, because a lot of people are making a lot of noise about this on social media, which I feel like, I mean, hasn't said much. I would like to see, if Frank Lampard ever does this, I'd love him to give details. Give me details. Don't just give me a broad answer. If you want to provide information, give me full-on details, what you saw from ownership, directorship. I don't know whether there was a directorship at that point. I don't think so. It was set up at that point. But yeah, let me know more in details about the players. If you're just going to give a broad answer, we already know all of that. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Bournemouth are keen on signing Kepa on permanent deal after his excellent season on loan from Chelsea. Fantastic. This news is now heating up. This is probably the second or third time that I've personally seen that from top journalists. Obviously, this one's coming from Fabrizio Romano, as we saw over here. I've seen from other journalists as well, top journalists from Chelsea, talking about how Bournemouth are keen on signing Kepa on a permanent. And this needs to happen. We've got too many goalkeepers. Kepa, yes, he's been doing well for Bournemouth. Let him stay at Bournemouth. We've already seen how Kepa has been at Chelsea. No need to see any more. If he's found a new life at Bournemouth, let him continue to. Let him not come back to Chelsea and suffer. So as long as we get a good, decent fee for him, I don't know what the fee might be like. Even if we can get up to about 20 million, that'd be great. I don't know whether Bournemouth will be willing to pay that level of money. But yeah, we're going to save on the wages. He's on high wages, potentially going to take a wage cut to be in Bournemouth. And he's been doing well. He's been doing well. And we need to get rid of a lot of players in the summer. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be chaotic. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially in regards to Kendry Paez, his loan move potentially to Strasbourg. Do you like it? Do you want to see him at Chelsea? Let me know your thoughts. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya.